This one mistake could wipe out your retirement in under 18 months. And so today I am pulling back the curtain on the cost of ignoring long-term planning. Women are more likely to live longer and need extended care. And without a plan, it can drain your savings faster than you think. So grab your notebook and something to write with because class is in session. And so real quick, if you are new to me or to the channel, hello and welcome. My name is Katrice and I am a licensed health and life insurance broker, paralegal, and your wealth architect. And I help women entrepreneurs and professionals to grow, protect, and secure their finances and build a financial legacy that they can be proud of. Alright, and if you are returning to the channel, welcome back. Alright, so let's jump into it. Now, when most people hear of long-term care, they picture a nursing home. But the truth is, it's so much more than that, okay? Long-term care can mean a nurse visiting your home each day. It can be a assisted living community where you get meals and help with your daily tasks. Or it could be a specialized memory care unit for conditions like Alzheimer's or dementia, okay? And so it also could be just for rehab as well. But here's the part that no one wants to talk about, and that is the cost, okay? And so the average assisted living facility in the United States costs about $7,000 per month, okay? Now, that's for assisted living, meaning that you can, still, move around and do for yourself, right? You may just need a little bit of assistance. But if you need full-on nursing care, okay, that could run you anywhere from the low $6,000 range all the way up to $12,000 a month, depending on the state where you live, okay? And now that is before you add in prescriptions or therapies or if you need special memory care services, okay? And so that means a 3-year stay could easily cost you over $250,000, over $250,000 in today's dollars, okay, in 2025 dollars, okay? Now, if you are a millennial like me and you're in your, early 40s, and, you may not need long-term care until 30 years later, imagine what the cost will be, okay? And so another thing that you need to realize and that most people don't know is that Medicare does not cover long-term care, okay? So it will cover short-term rehab after a hospital stay for a maximum of 100 days. But ongoing help with bathing and dressing or just making sure that you're safe and supported, that is on you to pay for, okay? So if you had to pay $7,000 a month for care, how many months could your savings last, okay? And I want you to think about that. Be honest with yourself and let me know in the comments below, okay? All right. So now, for women, this risk is even greater, okay? Now, we can live anywhere from 5 to 7 years longer than men on average, okay? So many of us will outlive our spouses, okay? Which means that we won't have a partner at home to help us when we need it. And so after years of caring for children and parents and your husband, you may even have to care for your husband. When it's our turn to need help, our kids might be raising families of their own, living far away, or just unable to provide the level of care that we need, okay? And so added to the fact that women often retire with smaller savings due to career breaks and child caring, You can see why this would be a perfect storm for financial strain. Okay. And so this is why you have to be proactive. And when it comes to planning for retirement, it's not just about the money. Okay, it's not just about how you want to spend your retirement. You also have to think about what's going to happen to me, in my old age, right? When I get to, the older years, right? Who is going to take care of me if I'm not able to? Okay, so who in your family would you rely on if you needed care tomorrow? Okay, that's you have to think of that. Who you would rely on, right? For me, I can say that, my oldest daughter, she is a CNA. I was a CNA. My mom was a CNA too. But she's a CNA and she's going to school to be an RN. And I'm so proud of my baby. But, like if I needed the level of care, my daughter, she's trained. So, she would be able to provide that level of care. But, she will have her own family. So will she be able to, even though she has the skills to provide that level of care, would she be able to? Would she be able to, have me live with her, or be able to come to my house and help me, or so these are things that you also have to think about when you are planning for retirement. Okay, a lot of people don't talk about that. They just talk about the money, and all of that, but you have to factor in everything, right? When you're planning for retirement. Okay, so this is where long-term care insurance comes in. Okay. Now, long-term care insurance, it is designed to help cover these expenses so that you don't have to drain your retirement accounts or sell your home. And you can choose a daily benefit, say, $200 a day, which would go towards your care. Now, there is an elimination period. It's kind of like a deductible in a sense, but it's like not a deductible that you pay in money, it's what you pay in time. So meaning that you will have to wait anywhere from like 30 to 90 days before the benefit starts. It really just depends on, the carrier that you choose of the plan. And then you choose a benefit period, so that can be anywhere from, you say, 3 years, 5 years, or life. Okay, many policies also offer inflation riders, which increase your coverage each year, so it keeps up with the rising cost of care. Okay, now if a traditional long-term policy isn't the right fit, there are alternatives. So permanent life insurance, whole life, universal life, index universal life, those insurances, they come with the long-term care rider, which lets you use part of your death benefit early to pay for care. Some annuities can also boost payouts if you require long-term care. Now, if you are a high net worth woman, you possibly could self-fund, okay, but that takes discipline and careful planning. Okay, again, when you are planning for retirement, this is something you need to be planning for, and it doesn't matter whether you are a high net worth woman or not. Everybody's going to get to the age where they could potentially need long-term care. You need to plan for that. And another thing, if you don't have the resources and you do have to require Medicaid, if you're needing Medicaid to help pay for that, and you qualify based on your resources, Medicaid will pay for it. However, there is a thing as Medicaid recovery, okay, and it's in all states. And so depending upon how much Medicaid paid for your long-term care needs, they can go after your estate to recover those costs. So that's another thing that you want to keep in mind. I believe I did a video on that. I'm not quite sure. I'll have to look and see if I did a video on that where I kind of went more in detail on it. If I did, I will put it in the description of this video. Okay. All right, but the bottom line is that if you don't plan for long-term care, you're leaving your retirement, your independence, and your legacy at risk. And for women especially, the risk isn't just financial. It's emotional, it's physical, and it affects the people that we love the most. Okay? All right, and so that is what I have for you in this video. Now, I did do a poll on the community page, so please go and check that out and answer the poll. The poll is about long-term care, so go check that out and answer it. Thank you so much for participating. And so if you have made it this far, thank you so much for watching. My goal is to always to provide practical, actionable financial advice to help you to take control of your finances and your future. Now, if this video provided you with tremendous value, then please do give it a like and share it with your business bestie or your water cooler homegirl who needs to hear this message. And also subscribe if you want to continue to learn how to grow, protect, and secure your finances. And don't forget to check the description excuse me, for additional tools and resources if you want more guidance outside of the content that I provide on this channel. Now, if you would like more information or to actually purchase long-term care insurance, then you can book a complimentary consultation with me, and we can go over your needs, and then we can see which long-term care policy would be the best for you. Okay? And so remember, the way to secure your financial future is to protect it now, because tomorrow is not promised. Now, next, watch my video. It's right here on this end screen, on end-of-life planning strategies that every woman needs, because it connects perfectly to what we've covered today. All right? Have a good one.